Hi, I'm Arthur, and it's once again another video of me criticizing a massive company that is almost strictly responsible for my success and growth up to this point. Gotta love the backhandedness of being handed wondrous toys and a fruitful YouTube channel, only to spit in their mouth and loudly proclaim, "More dwarves!" Alright, so, same as with Adepticon, I'm gonna break down all the announcements and discuss how I feel. Looks like everything is broken up into several days. I suppose that means they have a bunch of bigger announcements. I know that Adepticon, they had some pretty good ones, but they were clustered all together in one day. Before we get into it, like before, I just want to say, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because I plan on releasing more content in the future. And what were your thoughts on Warhammer Fest this year? I want to know. I want to discuss how you feel about it. I'll give my feelings towards the end of the video, and we can move on from there. So let's see, day one, my bread and butter, Warhammer 40k, what you got? Anything neat? Holy shit, I want all of that. I mean, the librarian is probably not for me, you know, the Black Templars and all, but everything else looks kind of, errant helmet on a Primaris Marine. I'm as hard as concrete right now looking at this, holy fuck. This looks really good, dude, holy shit. Terminators, cool. Pyroblasters. It's meant to be. Tyranids look cool too, though I notice, one, this bug here looks like that bug there way too fucking much, and two, they haven't announced a new Hormagaunt kit. They instead announced two other types of gaunts. The Barb Gaunt, which, look at him. I love this model. And the Neurogaunt, which are weird. Literal brainworms. They have literal brainworms. I assume they're just gonna have like a single psychic power or some shit. Basically like a lesser synaptic creature than like a zoanthrope or a neurothrope. I like the Screamer Killer a lot. That thing looks fucking awesome. I've already made plans halfway through the announcement to split this box with a NIDS player from my local community, whom also wants the Terminator Librarian. So, I am satisfied. Wait, there's more today? Alright. A new army to play for Underworlds, and these are the models of all time. They just look like pieces from other kits. This dude looks cool, I like the candles, but the others just look like chain rasps, which, okay, chain rasps are cool. I suppose my standards for these miniature kits are a little skewed, because Underworld often has the prettiest models in the entirety of, like, Warhammer AOS, like the universe. That tall, big titty having gaunt summoner is pretty cool, and her entire crew is really cool. These are just kind of boring. What's next? Middle Earth? Really? Fucking Middle Earth models. I get it, it's a fun game. I played it with a friend once upon a time, and still, it's kind of popular, but I don't know. I'm definitely not the demographic for this. If anyone in the comments plays the Middle-earth game, let me know. Does this get your panties in a bunch? Does this make you happy? Do you enjoy this? It just seems kind of like a lackluster diorama, or an attempt at one. What's the last announcement for today? Warcry? Why are they putting all of the side games after the 40k announcement? And Kill Team got its own day? Who put this together? Okay, what Warcry teams do they have? Oh, Ghouls versus Stormcast. The Stormcast are, well, above average Stormcast models, so they look alright. The Ghouls, though, those are fucking pretty, and also monkey. Those are just vampire ghoul baboons, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I like them. This dude has a halberd on his left hand, which is cool. Still kind of weird that they had those three announcements in one day with the 40k 10th edition box. Feels like they kind of would get buried, or it would water down the announcement of 10th edition. You know, it just like, you're announcing things for people who aren't likely going to play it. The average 40k player only plays 40k because of the release schedule draining most of their funds. I'm just stupid and I play a lot of games, like I'm picking up Kill Team, so I'm excited for the Kill Team announcements. I'm also excited for the Horus Heresy announcements and the Warhammer Fantasy announcements. I'm kind of an outlier just because I like to play a lot of different games and I don't buy a lot of models. I just buy one box every now and then for a different game and then paint them up and then never play them. But having all these announcements after the 40k announcement kind of muddles the whole mix, if that makes sense. I hope that doesn't continue this way, because next day we have, like, AOS, we have Warhammer Fantasy, and we have Horus Heresy. So let's just see how they kind of do that. Day 2, baby, and today has some of the biggest things I'm excited for. Horus Heresy and Old World. Oh, yeah, and we have AOS to get through. Okay, cool. I'm not the biggest fan of AOS, and it's almost 100% petty. I deadass feel like I bet on the wrong horse, because I got in when the Cruel Boys came out. I love my scrunkly orcs, but there hasn't been mention of them since their initial release, or even an update to them in a little bit, so now I'm just not really caring, though the models for AOS are usually pretty cool. Okay, so what do we have here? They're announcing... Ooh! That's a nice Hans. Top tier horsey. Would feed an apple to... What the fuck is wrong with that horse? Am I just crazy? But something seems off. It may just be the proportions... The paint job is fucking immaculate, but something feels off, like the legs are too long or the head is too small. Let me just do a side-by-side comparison with the Pistoliers from the current shop for Warhammer Fantasy and, like, Cities of Sigmar. What do you guys think? Regardless, nice horses. Riders are cool too. It's nice that Cities of Sigmar are not just being left by the wayside as a catch-all for the old fantasy miniatures that people still have. Next up, oh fuck, rapid fire 4 characters in a campaign book? New Harbinger? Nice. That's a good model. The old model was only just starting to look a little bit aged. It was a pretty model. I'll put it on screen right now so you guys can see what I'm talking about, but I think it could still hold up on the tabletop. So this one looks like a nice update. I think it pays Okay, I think the Hans being a bit fucked is intentional with this one, but I guess I just gotta see where they go in the horse future. Next up, Ghoul character. Nice. It's good to see that the ghouls get some love. I sold off a bunch of ghouls recently I impulse bought a few years ago, so the guy I sold them to is pretty happy about all this. So I think the general reception is pretty good. I think this with the Warcry team is nice. It's a good addition. Okay, hear me out. I love dwarfs and dwarf accessories, but like, this one just feels a bit off. I don't care for it. It just feels a bit more stumpy than other dwarf models would/should be, right? That being said, weirdly enough, I feel nothing towards the Fireslayer range of models. I think they could be cool. I just find that their models all look too similar in design and silhouette for me to have any distinct feelings about any of the releases involving them. It's usually dwarf, dwarf in gold, dwarf with long fire weapon. And that's usually the summation of what every single individual character model they have is. The Magmadroth, or whatever the fuck the weird dragon thing is, he's cool, but, you know. Next. I like this guy. He's pretty cool. Decently sculpted Gobbo with flying squigs. I gotta say, the Goblin line in AOS is always a treat to behold, because it's just cute. All the models have a certain callback energy to Goofy Warhammer that you just don't really see anymore. Look at this dude. He's just tripping balls right now. The entire Gobbapalooza box set is so fun. Last announcement for AOS for today. Holy fuck, that's a big pig. I don't think they get the scale for the Ironjaw orcs conveyed well in videos. Because I was at a store when I was traveling a few months back, and I saw a mega boss on a sprue, which is the standard war boss for the Ironjaw's orcs. These things are fucking huge. So, to have two of them riding side saddle on this pig, I gotta admit, makes me like the pig. It's probably massive. Probably some kind of big monster killer. 10 out of 10. Would feed an apple. Okay, onto the stuff I have a vested interest in. Horus Heresy, baby! Holy shit, it's a plastic Night Lancer. Pack it in, tournament goers. Plastic Night kits from Forge World. I can't wait to see them ship the fucking Warlord Titan in a box the size of a refrigerator to the plastic munchers. I love the design of the Night Lancer, so to see it get brought over to be slightly more affordable moves my shriveled dead heart. Okay, the campaign book they announced before, they mentioned they have 2 characters in it. I have a feeling the reason they didn't show the characters is because they didn't have them ready. My fan theory is they pulled the trigger early because the announcement spot for them at Adepticon was for Commander Dante's new miniature, and then whoopsie, someone accidentally got him, so they had to kind of kill that. The Imperial Fist character is pretty okay. I like the design. Cataphractic Terminator armor always looks good, so you can't go wrong with that. Power Fist, awesome. I think I have a few issues with the sculpt for the Sons of Horus guy. There isn't a single portion of his armor that doesn't have the Sons of Horus logo on it. So he seems like he's a bit in denial about his feelings towards them and needs constant reaffirmations. Fuck, even his axe has a big Eye of Horus on it. I know his helmet doesn't, but like, with the Night Lords, you don't see the bat-winged skull everywhere. It's usually on characters and only on the one shoulder pad, and sometimes it's their helmet. You don't see them flailing around claws with big skulls with wings on them. So like, he seems awkward. It seems a little too much, a little too gaudy, if you will. And then they showed the STL file for Mark VI Assault Marines. Cool. Oh, it's an announcement for the announcements they are going to be making this year. Jokes aside, a roadmap was kinda necessary, so Horus Heresy doesn't teeter off. And it's nice they are going to be releasing new factions in plastic and resin characters, but full stop, my dude. Like, resin characters probably don't sell that much outside of the UK, just due to the sheer cost of them. I procure my Horus Heresy miniatures through completely legal channels, but you know, it can't have that high of a profit margin. Looking at these Terminators here, these are awesome. Caretaker Terminators look amazing. Great sculpts. I have a kit of them. Are they wonderful enough to justify that price? Yeah, I didn't think so. The price alone scares so many people away from the Horus Heresy, which is why they're making it into a plastic game. Okay, what's next? That was a little disappointing, but keep going. Wait, is that Horus Heresy Epic Scale? Are they teasing a new Epic Scale game? Are we getting a spiritual sequel to Epic 40K? I know some of you may be too young to know what that is. Hell, I'm too young to probably know what that is. But for those who don't know, there are different scales for miniature games. And a game like 40K is what's referred to as like heroic scale. So 32mm bases to 28mm bases. Epic scale is like 6mm miniatures. They're bases loaded with like 5 to 10 guys that are individually painted that are really tiny. So Epic 40K was basically having these massive apocalyptic battles with really tiny guys and massive titans that were the size of like dreadnoughts for like the normal table to give you the size scale and shit. It was cool. It was discontinued before I got into the hobby, at least by a decade or so. So them teasing this is pretty cool. They could put it side by side with Adeptus Titanicus and say you could use the models for both, which is, I think that's a great business practice. But yeah. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Fucking Old World. I can't wait for them to... 2 resin miniatures? 4 years and you announce a Bretonnian not on a horse and Grand Priest fucked face over here. I feel like if I was more invested in those two factions and Old World, I would be a little livid. It is a bit disappointing. I'm glad they're bringing back the old range, but I personally wish they didn't get rid of it, period. Sure, it was going to dilute the profit margins for other games, but you know, it's better to have access to them for good faith rather than, you know, just trying to funnel people to a very differently played game, which is AOS. Nothing against AOS, it's just not the same game as Warhammer Fantasy. I like them both equally, but for different reasons. But I guess the Necrosphinx is coming back, so that's cool. Day 3. Kill Team gets its own day. Why? Did they just not have the ability to fit it on any other day? I've already seen the releases as of writing this, but like, it wasn't a lot. The other days did have a few good announcements and a lot of mediocre and disappointing ones, but Kill Team, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody get too hyped for it. Other than myself, but that was because I like Leagues of Votann and Beastmen, so seeing updates for that, I got excited. So the announcement is for a new Kill Team box expansion, before the current new Kill Team box expansion is even out. Okay, cool, I guess. I'm pre-ordering the current one, but like, good for you, I guess? The Inquisition team seems pretty cool. This miniature here's a callback to an old Inquisitor model from a long time ago. I like the sculpts. They are a bit plain for some of them, but they are everything they need to be, so I don't think there's any complaints on that end. I find the rest of the boxes a little lazy, though. The Scions just feel thrown in there. Why not make a 5-man upgrade kit for the Scions to turn them into Lucifer Blacks or something? It just feels haphazard. And the team they're going up against isn't even a kill team. It is 3 boxes of different cultist miniatures that I could buy right now. What the actual fuck? Just make a funny man with the hat and call him a cultist leader of sorts. It's really easy. Were those cultist models not selling enough? It can't be that bad. Oh shit, new Warhammer Heroes. I'm not the biggest gacha box fan, but I enjoy the Warhammer Heroes bit. They let you make a full unit of weirdly decorative guys and have them stand out as a bit of a centerpiece model if you're going to fill them out into a unit, which is cool. They often come with unique characters too. So what's this one about? Oh. I have not enough words in my vocabulary to describe how annoyed this box set makes me, so I'm going to try. Basically, the past Heroes boxes are random individual Space Marines or Plague Marines for either a Tactical Marine Squad, a Plague Marine Squad, or a Terminator Squad, which is cool, but every miniature in the box. Hi, this is editor Arthur, currently going through the video. Yeah, this segment had to be cut of 2 minutes of me screaming and yelling about the different models because for some fucking reason, I swear when I saw the reveal, there was a full spread of every single miniature that came in the kit. So for 2 minutes, I'm talking about models that I can't find an image for. So I'm just going to cut it because it doesn't make sense if you don't play the game. Yeah. This is ball. What the fuck is going on? The captain is kind of boring. Okay, I don't like the Heroes kit. It's too spread out. If they give you the ability to choose which type of bolt gun you can run with each guy instead of having them be one of the 3, it makes it easier to swallow. I'm going to read through the article and see if it mentions it. It probably won't. I think if you're running, like, I don't know, Death Watch, this could be fun. But if you are getting these, you're going to be using them for exclusively Kill Team, which is kind of boring. Maybe I'm just not the guy for this. What do you guys think? Because I guess that's it. There was a roadmap announced for the Kill Team, but that's it. Outside of 10th edition 40k, all of the announcements are kind of boring or disappointing. There were a few I liked, like the Big Pig, but I felt like it was just a bunch of filler. Characters are cool and all, but new units are more interesting, and this entire Warhammer Fest was announcing new teams for side games and new characters for the main games. I think aside from characters, it was the Haunt Squad for Sigmar and the Big Pig, which I think are the best announcements they made outside the 40k big box. What do you guys think? Did you have anything you were disappointed in? Because I did. I feel like the formatting and delivery could have been a bit better. Maybe my expectations were set too high because they started with the 10th edition big box. So my vision was probably a little clouded. But let me know in the comments. As per the usual, I genuinely want to know. As for now, I'm ready to go absolutely broke because of the fucking Kill Team box, trip to Atlanta, then the 10th edition big box. If they announce more Votann models, I'm just screwed. Oh, the Codex isn't even coming out this year? Cool, GW, I love them. Thanks for everything. I love running nothing but bikes and fucking garbage trucks in the competitive format.